Hi everyone, it's Simon from Higher Plane Games with a review of Bloody Rally Simulator. A wonderful game that has been released in early access here on Steam and I'm sure other platforms too. This is very much early access, but with really good foundations for a big improvement in the future. The main mechanic of this is that the track is kind of your vague go-to point to stay on it, but as you're drifting around the corners, in order to basically go faster, you need to take out the crowd and kill them as you drift round corners. So the game utterly is built around encouraging you to slightly cut inside or like run round the outside and drift off around the edge to take out the crowds around these randomly generated tracks as you go. You can do this in a single player campaign where it will randomly generate 50 tracks for you to unlock progressively as you go, and you do that by buying the track to unlock it, repairing your car as it gets damaged as you smash into other things such as buildings, walls, pedestrians and, well, other cars. And you can continue through that, and then as you find tracks that you really like, you can kind of save them into your back catalogue to then go and play with them in quick race and something like that. Steam Workshop is also integrated into the game as well, so you can then go out to there and see what other people's tracks have that they've uploaded onto there. And there's also a really decent track editor as well, which, whilst it's a bit rough around the edges in terms of how it pulls together a track, because you're pointing and clicking into different places and it's joining things up, there's like an auto smoother to try and make jaggies a little bit more like a rounded corner. But yeah, it's just what it does is it then drives an AI around it, so you can kind of go, right, the AI is desperately trying to cut this. So if you're thinking, right, I'm going to build a track and I know that you can't cut across this corner because I'm going to put a wall there, you need to think again, because the whole thing about Bloody Rally Simulator is cut the corner as much as you can without being penalised, or run around the edge of the track. And it really changes how you look at racing, because the car itself is... the handling is this really weird mix of heavy, floaty, if that makes sense. So the actual turning around a corner is that a car handles like a tank, but as soon as you click it into a drift, it will just float on into that drift forever and ever and ever and a day. And it takes a few, 10-20 minutes to kind of get used to, particularly when you're playing around really, really small tracks, because you kind of think, right, I'm going to brake and turn, and then you'll just skid off into the distance, never to be seen again. But once you get used to it, then you start to think, right, well, now I can know how to aim for the pedestrians, get my speed boost and go on. The way how the speed boost mechanic works is that if you hit a few pedestrians, then you'll get a tiny speed boost for a tiny amount of time. But if you can then combo that and then continue hitting more pedestrians, say if they're lined up down a straight and then you drift down the straight slightly or just smash into them, then it will rack up exponentially. So both the time that you've got the boost for, as well as the speed, percentage increase of your boost, kind of both grow with it. So it's really to your advantage to not really drive on the track. Once you get that in your head, you're fine. You can also play with up to 4 players locally, where you can all pull together in that campaign mode. You can take things out for quick race, where you can just try out other things, different cars on different tracks, and go for leaderboard challenges in terms of lap times. And the other thing I really, really like as well is that Bloody Rally Simulator allows up to 100 AI cars on track at one time. So the game actually handles the optimization of that quite well. My PC is relatively old-ish in some of the parts, the motherboard especially. So it kind of creaks a little bit as they're all crossing the line if you're on a really small racetrack. There's there's an inbuilt one called the Loop, which is just a giant oval. And it was struggling around that, but if you put them out on a larger track and they're a bit more spaced out, then the game doesn't crash, drop frame rates so much, and I'm sure that'll be optimized over time. What the developers also done is put out their Trello, which is their development schedule type thing, but not in a schedule, it's just things they're going to do in the public domain. So at the moment there's only races that are available on time trial, but they're looking to add weapons to the car, put in a drift and slalom event, eliminations, car battles, weather effects, oil spills, that kind of stuff. And they're looking at other things like putting cyclists on the track, which did make me giggle. But what I really like is that, yes, that's fine, all of this stuff will be coming like and drip feeding through at the time being. For now though, if you're looking to just pick this up in early access and just deal with it how it is, actually it's quite a fun experience. It offers something different. Probably the closest thing I can think to it is if you took Zombie Racer, if you remember that from about 2010-ish time on PS3, PC, I believe Xbox as well, 360. It's that kind of mowing down everyone in your car, Carmaggedon style, but in a 2D top-down arcade racing game. Make vague sense? I hope so. I've enjoyed it. It's out in early access. Go grab it if it tickles your fancy. And I'll probably come back to this a bit more around the track editor side of stuff, because I love me some track editors. I'm not great at them, but it lets me unleash my inner Herman Tilke. So yeah, you guys take care. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. This channel is just one of my many projects that cover games, music and film. If you enjoy any of these and would consider supporting me to develop further in the future, you can do so by visiting patreon.com/Satorimon. Thank you for your time and for watching the video.